steady pace of voters coming out to the polls since they opened earlier this morning, and election officials say it's definitely feeling much busier than the primary in August that saw a low voter turnout. Now I had a chance to speak with some voters on what got them motivated to cast their ballots today and with some candidates in a high-profile race. The central villages were just as lively as the north. Supporters starting this election day showing up for their candidates, and we caught both candidates in the race for Guam delegate making their final waves and pitches to voters. Incumbent James Moylan in Mangilao.
I'm very happy with my team. Of course, in hindsight, you can say, I wish I did this or I wish I did that. That's all right. It's about moving forward. So with my team here, we can do that right away. We're ready to work and ready to do the work for the people of Guam and protecting our nation and protecting the people of Guam as well.
And his challenger, Ginger Cruz in Tamuning.
So I am crossing my fingers. I am so hopeful that we're going to see a good turnout today from all the different sectors on Guam so that they can vote for their future and we can give ourselves hope that things can change and that we can do more for the people of Guam.
Voters didn't waste time and making sure their voices were heard at the polls and showing up to this site at John F. Kennedy High.
I try to come in and make sure that my vote counts. Yeah, I'm always motivated to do that. Yeah.
It's been going pretty well. We've had already, I think, a couple, I'd say 100 votes just for our precinct alone. And I can't say how much for the rest, but it does seem like a lot of people are coming in.
It's my honor and my privilege. Guam has really been good to us. We want to continue the good work that some people are doing. And although it's problems, of course, but if we put in the right people, a lot more could get done.
This election, no doubt a pivotal moment for many across the island. Now let's go on over to the southern polling sites where our Destiny Cruz is standing by to continue our Decision 2024 election coverage. The South was smooth sailing as voters slowly trickled in to cast their ballots. Acting Governor Josh Tenorio even voting in his home village of Talafofo Tuesday morning.
I think we underestimate voting a lot. I've been seeing the trend of the low voter turnouts, and I really think that we need to pause and recognize that a lot of people from our own island sacrificed their lives so that we could vote in a free election.
Tenorio already making it known he plans to run for Adelup in 2 years. Other voters shared why they felt it was important to hit the polls.
So I'm so excited about this vote this year. This was wow.
Was your process smooth, or were there any hiccups?
Definitely. No, smooth, and because I already knew who I wanted to vote for because I like to research.
Slow and steady, a little bit more than the primary, so looks like it's going to be a great day.
One vote counts. So it doesn't matter if you think that, because your voice can be heard. But you have to come out and do your duty and select those that you think will make a difference.
My dad's been a strong supporter for voting, and he's always on me to come down, so that's what started it. But my wife and I have been starting to get more involved in politics and just wanted to see the future, so I'm here today to exercise my right.
A good time in the South as many took the opportunity to vote, period.
And you can count on your news leader to bring your decision coverage from Guam and the CNMI.
Once the polls close at 8 p.m., KUAM will go live at 10 p.m. from Election Central at the UOG Cabo Fieldhouse in Mangilao. We will also have results and reactions from the party camps until the last vote is in. And in other news, a tragic update to an unsolved hit-and-run crash that unfolded at Dead Man's Curve in Asen last month.
The family of Sheila Babauta confirming with KUAM she passed away on Monday. Loved ones are heartbroken as Babauta has been fighting for her life at the hospital since being hit by a car. The driver took off from the scene. Authorities have yet to catch them. The crash happened on October 16th along Route 1 Marine Corps Drive in the area known as Dead Man's Curve in Asen. Babauta leaves behind a young son. Family members are asking the community for help, creating a GoFundMe page to raise money for funeral expenses. We've got the link to the donation site on KUAM.com. Meanwhile, North Korea fired an unidentified ballistic missile toward the East Sea today. The Joint Chiefs of Staff saying it detected the launch but did not provide further details, saying an analysis is underway.
The launch came hours before Americans were set to head to the polls locally and for the presidential election. The North has recently ratcheted up tensions, firing an intercontinental ballistic missile into the EC on Thursday. Guam Homeland Security confirms the latest missile launch did not pose a threat to the Marianas.
Up next, a look at the race in the CNMI.
Plus, the latest with your race for the White House. You're watching KUAM.
Looking for the best value for your family's connectivity? Save big with GTA's Choice Bundles. Get fast internet, unlimited wireless, entertaining digital TV, and reliable home phone, all in one convenient package. The more services you choose, the more you save. Over $1,000 per year. GTA is the smart choice. For a limited time, bundle internet and wireless and get 3 months of free internet plus a $300 Visa gift card on us. Bundle and save with GTA Choice Bundles.
In times of uncertainty, trust is what leads the way. The Medical City, your trusted partner in health.
I'm Sean Gumatautal. I represent a new generation of Republican leaders who are awake to the changing world. I am pro-family. I believe in the values of hard work and accountability, but understand the need for social programs. I will fight to get more police on the streets, more government services online, and put career criminals on notice. It's time to vote for change.
Paid for by Eloy Sean Gumatautal for Senator, William N. Regis, Treasurer.
Welcome back to Primetime. Your Decision 2024 coverage includes the elections in the CNMI.
Let's check in with our regional correspondent, Tomas Mingblotnia, with the latest.
It's election day here in the Marianas on Saipan, Tinian, Rota, and the Northern Islands as voters head to the polls from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. to get their voices heard. We're here in Cagman, where you can see behind me the music is booming, and there is a very festive mood here as Democrats, Republicans, and Independents come together with a united message, which is to get out and vote. Of course, the CNMI has over 18,000 registered voters, and over the last week of early voting, about 5,000 of them came out. And here's a look at the polls throughout the day here on Saipan as we spoke with voters about what motivated them to come out and vote.
It's not just this election, it's every election is important. People always want change, and the only way to enact change or to make sure that things are the way they are is by going to the polls and vote. So if you're at home right now and you didn't register to vote, you better come out and vote next election. If you're already registered and you're thinking about not voting this year, you need to come out and vote. It is your civic duty, and the entire CNMI population needs to come out and vote. Please come out and vote.
Of course, make every vote count. It's very important to go cast your vote. You want them to hear you, so go out and cast your vote too, right?
Oh, today is a very important day. You have to exercise your right to vote and choose the right candidate for this coming years ahead of us. We need somebody who can, bring our economy back and make our lives a little bit more better here in Marianas.
Well, I think it's important. I'm personally interested in just seeing what Election Day is like here. The differences and similarities with the mainland, just because I'm curious about it. As far as its significance, I think that it's very important for the NMI. It's been a long time since there's been a change in delegate. Obviously, the elected officials here have a lot of control over the day-to-day lives, and I'm just, I'm not weighing in on one side or the other. I'm just intrigued by what it looks like whenever there's an election in America's newest jurisdiction. It's exciting.
It's just like every other election. We just have to vote, exercise our right?
What issues matter? What do you care about the Sinamay?
The health and education. That's the most important thing. And the CUC, they need to address it.
Well, it matters because you have freedom of speech, your right to vote, and say what you want to say. Maybe improve the economy. We need tourism industry to increase, for that matter, and other things that we might improve.
Well, I guess I just want to say thank you for voting. Your voice is so important, and getting yourself and your family and everyone else in your community out is really important to making sure that our voices are heard, because the decisions that are made affect everyone.
I think what's important is that I'd like to see a lot of the, not just our candidates, but those that are running independent in opposition of this administration, because we really do need a change of direction as soon as possible. And this is the only thing that we can do is this election and vote for the right people to make those changes.
And there are several key races to watch, including the delegate to the U.S. House of Representatives between Ed Probst, a Democrat, Independent Liana Hofschneider, Republican Kimberlyn King-Hines, Independent James Rafin, and Independent John Gonzalez. Each island also has one Senate seat up for grabs on Rota, Tinian, and Saipan. The Saipan Board of Education seat is also up for grabs, with 2 spots available amid a 5-way race, and there's 1 judge up for retention. We will have full Complete Decision 2024 coverage starting tonight at 7 p.m. live on Facebook, and you can watch on TV 11 at 10 p.m. Tomas Manglonia, KUAM News, Saipan.
Former President Trump on a final battleground blitz across key states, making 4 stops in 3 states in a bid to shore up support. Alice Barr has details from West Palm Beach, Florida.
Plus, Bree Jackson also covering the star-studded last day on the campaign trail for Vice President Kamala Harris. Harris will watch elections returns at Howard University in D.C.
Former President Trump sprinting across 3 battleground states today, from North Carolina,
get out and vote, you know that,
to Pennsylvania, ending in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where he finished his last 2 campaigns and keeping the issue that launched him front and center.
we're going to close up that border so fast.
But a closing message focused on immigration and inflation detoured over the weekend at a Pennsylvania rally, where the former president said he should never have left the White House after his 2020 election loss.
I shouldn't have left. I mean, honestly, because we did so well.
And while talking about the bulletproof glass that mostly enclosed him on stage following 2 assassination attempts against him, saying this:
To get me, somebody would have to shoot through the fake news, and I don't mind that so much.
In a statement, the Trump campaign claimed his comment had, quote, nothing to do with the media being harmed, and that he was, quote, actually looking out for their welfare. Trump supporters eagerly awaiting results.
I think that Trump's going to win, but I think it's going to be close.
As the nation prepares for Election Day.
Preparations are underway on the campus of Howard University, where Vice President Kamala Harris is set to spend election night with her supporters.
I want to be a part of this historic moment. I want to see it in live action.
Harris is a graduate of the historically black university. People we spoke with say they are proud to be witnessing history.
Just being on this campus, there's such a legacy, there's such a energy.
Is this election important from the perspective of a black person, particularly a young black woman? But also, this is perhaps one of the most consequential elections in our lifetime.
The vice president is spending these last hours campaigning in critical Pennsylvania.
It's about just strengthening our country and reminding each other we are all in this together. We rise and fall together.
Harris making her final pitch And on Tuesday, voters will have the final say.
And you can watch NBC News Election Night special coverage Wednesday starting at 8 a.m. on TV8 and on Peacock.
And on CBS News, watch America Decides special election coverage of the presidential race on TV 11 Wednesday starting at 10 a.m.
Now for a look at your world at home.
Here's a view captured from First Beach in
Island Cancer Center has the only state-of-the-art Halcyon Linear Accelerator, providing radiation treatments in the Asia-Pacific region. We are excited to be back up and running after Typhoon Mawar. We have been providing the highest quality patient-centered care for 14 years and will continue to do so. Why? Because we love what we do. Island Cancer Center, our family treating your family. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 671-646-3363.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Guam is an amazing place, but times have changed, eroding our values of respect and compassion, leading us to tear each other down. It's time to restore what we need the most, hope. Hope keeps us alive. It keeps us from giving up and leaving our island. Hope helps restore our faith in one another. Shelley Calvo brings the type of hopeful leadership that understands that as we build a brand new hospital, it's equally important to build each other up. Shelley understands that strengthening our economy is only as good as strengthening the ties that bind our community. Shelley will ensure that we live on an island where success is measured by the number of lives we improve. Shelley Calvo will introduce strong legislation and bring us great leadership, but more importantly, Shelley brings hope. On November 5th, please vote Shelley Calvo for Senator, number 3 Republican. Hope has arrived.
This is Shelley Calvo, and I approve this message.
For the first time, the roster for our Guam national men's rugby team is all local. It's a 671 pride the players and coaches all carry onto the pitch and in every scrum, and one they fight hard to defend. They're heading to the Philippines for a rematch against an old foe, with renewed focus, a willingness to compete, and a hunger to hit.
We put our body out there. It's a physical game, it's part of it, but we feed off of it. Sometimes we get a little bit too carried away with how physical and our tenacity could be, but that's where the skill and the development has been with Guam Rugby over the last 20 years. You see the ball handling much improved, and the ball moves at a pace that it wasn't like it 20 years ago when I first started.
Rugby is one of those games where the simple things go a long way. Communication is definitely one of those little things that has to be very critical at the highest level, and so that's something we hope to bring effectively when we go over and play the Philippines.
Honestly, Guam has always been a smash mouth rugby team, right? We like to get physical. We have a lot of big boys, we have a lot of skinny boys, but 1 through 15, everyone knows how to put the hit on. And just bringing that and our game style into the game, we're trying to finesse it so that we're able to meet up with the skills that we need now in today's current game.
You know, I never have to worry about these guys, the Guam boys, getting fired up and playing hard. It's just a matter of how we're gonna, did we prepare enough I played with a bunch of them, years ago, and they were the youngest and I was the oldest, and now those young guys are now the oldest guys.
We have a relatively older group compared to previous years, but it's a very experienced group. Every single boy has played high school, so they grew up on Guam. They went through the local leagues, and just having that where we're a truly local team, it really puts a lot of pride into when we step on the field. We're not just representing ourselves, our family, but most importantly, we're representing our island.
When you first tasted our spicy chicken McNuggets, lightly breaded in tempura and made with aged cayenne, maybe that cayenne blend made you cry a little. Well, now you can happy cry on your way to McDonald's, because they're back. The spicy chicken McNuggets, they're back. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Hey, I got the job.
So I can go part-time.
Yes!
Some days bring new opportunities. First Hawaiian Bank can help you say yes to making the most of them. Manage your accounts, earn cash back, and when you need advice, we're here for you.
We should really get him into an art program.
No matter where your journeys take you, you can bank on the best. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Is November too early for Christmas music? Not here at Breeze 93.9 FM. Set your radio to 93.9 FM or listen to us via KUAM.com or the KUAM News app for holiday music every hour with Holiday Head Start. It all leads up to our holiday music takeover on Black Friday, November 29th, where we're playing Christmas music 24/7. From beloved tomorrow hymns to holiday classics and essentials from Mariah to Bublé. We're getting the season started early with Holiday Head Start. Happy Holiday Head Start from Breeze 93.9 FM. Now streaming on the KUAM News app or KUAM.com. Holiday Head Start is brought to you by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
November is not just a time to prepare for the holiday season. It also marks Movember, a month that's dedicated to raising awareness about men's health issues, including cancer, chronic illnesses, and mental health and wellness.
Movember is more than just growing a mustache. It's a movement that encourages men to take charge of their health and to have important conversations about what's going on in their lives.
Did you know that 1 in 9 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime, and that men are significantly less likely to seek help for mental health issues than women? This month, we're encouraging all men to take a proactive approach to their health.
Simple steps like getting regular checkups and screenings, talking to your friends and family about your feelings and symptoms, and exercising regularly can make a big difference. Join us this Movember to raise awareness and support one another, and take action with our health and well-being.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by J. Goodman, a happiness company.
And this week's Giving Every Tuesday, just in time to kick off the holiday season, the Guam Power Authority continued its annual tradition of including special community-focused outreach, benefiting local nonprofit organizations as part of its annual Public Power Week celebration. This year, Team GPA collected more than 2,800 food items for the Salvation Army to benefit island families in need, and more than 600 toys for Ali Shelter. GPA employees hosted the month-long canned food drive and toy drive from September 18th to October 18th to help the Salvation Army stock up their food pantries. And this year, GPA added a special toy drive to make the holiday season brighter for Guam's children. Last week, GPA presented the Salvation Army items such as canned meats, seafood, vegetables, fruits, condiments, and beans, plus dry items such as coffee, shelf-stable milk, rice, pasta, and crackers. GPA employees sorted the food donations and loaded the boxes into the Salvation Army trucks bound for its food pantries in season. Also, GPA employees met to sort and pack the new toys bound for the alley shelter. The next day, GPA employees loaded boxes in trucks and delivered them to officials at Catholic Social Service. GPA's management and staff collected 627 toy items for children, which included new dolls, clothing, sports equipment, puzzles, books, and more.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by J. Goodman, a happiness company.
There is an entrepreneurship pop-up happening on November 8th, everybody. Make sure to check it out. It's presented by Barbie, Villani, and Rachel. It is presented by the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce and the Bank of Guam. Go to guamwomenschamber.com for more. They are also holding their 4th general membership meeting as well as a Gal Pal Sip and Shop. That is happening on November 14th, starting at 4:30 in the afternoon. Make sure to hit their website for more once again. And you can celebrate the 10th anniversary of 500 Sales up in the CNMI. It's happening November 15th at 6 at the Crown Plaza Resort and Saipan. Check it out. Have a good time. That's what's happening on Newsnight.
It's time now for your birthday wishes.
Here's your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club shout-out submitted on KUAM.com.
Happy birthday to Jasper Edward Marquez. You celebrate birthday number 13 this year. We love you very much. Say Dad, Mom, Tyler, Emma, Aaron, Bash, and Ella.
That's your primetime show. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. And don't forget, polls close at 8 p.m. Stick with your news leader. KUAM will go live at 10 p.m. from Election Central at the UOG Cabo Fieldhouse in Manila, where Jason Salas and Nick Delgado until the last vote is counted. Again, we will also have results and reactions from the party camps. Good night.
Catch Health, Home, and Lifestyle every Tuesday following KUM News Prime Time. We've got you covered with health and lifestyle news each Tuesday on the stations of KUM and our digital streaming platforms. Health, Home, and Lifestyle is brought to you by the Medical City, your trusted partner in health. Hello and Hafa Guam. I'm Jason Salas with KUM. Welcome to another episode of Health, Home, and Lifestyle, where we show you how to live a healthy and happy island life. Here's what we have for you this week.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Okay, everybody, here is an episode of House to Home that we do every 2 years. Kind of interesting theme there, and we'll tell you why, because Liz, Gina, and John Duenas is joining us. Uncle John, buenas. Always good to see you.
Hey. Good to be on.
All right. And John, of course, is the vice chairman of the Guam Association of Realtors, an organization of which Liz and Gina have held high leadership positions. They've helped guide the organization. And every 2 years when there's an election, the membership always has a range of criteria that they use that they present to the various candidates running for public office. And today's episode is going to be on who the Guam Association of Realtors favors in the senatorial race. So that's always an interesting thing. Now, John, can you kind of break it down on exactly what the criteria that the realty community, looks for in a prospective candidate?
So I'm vice chair of the Government Affairs Committee of the Guam Association of Realtors. Monty McDowell is the chairman, and every election year we look at all the candidates and we develop criteria for ranking. We normally precede this with a questionnaire that centers around real estate issues, and we send it to the different candidates and asking them to respond to it in writing. And then we hold a sort of an interview session. It's a virtual session where all the candidates are invited to appear. Some candidates choose to appear, some don't. Some because of time commitments or other scheduling conflicts could not attend. And then during that forum, that's virtual forum, questions are asked of these candidates, and they give answers, and we evaluate their answers and see if the candidates support the issues that GAR supports.
Now, I like this because anybody can put a billboard together or, make a radio commercial, fix their hair nice and everything like that. You guys are actually judging them on their on the fitness of their platforms or their ability to respond to questions, I guess, pertinent to not only real estate but some other issues that are very important to your community?
So there are two types of candidates, and evaluating them sort of takes a different a route. There are the incumbents, and then there are the candidates who are vying to be elected to the legislature, to 38. The incumbents, we evaluate their performance during the 37th KUAM legislature. And we had issues that we brought to the legislature, we supported. There were bills that were industry related. And we actually evaluated their performance and their response to those legislative issues. A lot of them are bills. And then that factors into our ranking of them. The other candidates, some candidates are new to, running for the legislature. Some have run and then they haven't run, such as Tony Ada. He was a senator. He wasn't the last, or he wasn't under this 37th KUAM legislature, but he's running now.
Mm-hmm.
So we look at, what he's done in the past, and he supported real estate issues that we support in the past. And for the new candidates, we actually we asked them to answer the questionnaires, that we asked them to appear on the forum to answer questions. If they didn't show up at the forum, they really got no credit, because you just don't appear, you don't get any credit. We really don't want to try to judge what their excuses were for not being able to. And some of them are really legitimate, maybe all of them. But because you didn't appear, you got no credit. But we did evaluate candidates that answered the questionnaires.
So I want to emphasize that the Guam Association of Realtors is about improving our community, helping. We are of service. We're here to serve and nothing more.
I think you'll see by the slate of candidates that we're supporting that we're really nonpartisan. You see Democrats and Republicans. It's a mix.
Well, tell you what, I know everybody out there right now they're going to wring my neck if I don't bring this graphic up. So you guys ready to make your reveal? Here is who the Guam Association of Realtors supports this year in the congressional and senatorial races. So, John, if you would kind of give us a breakdown of those candidates.
So the candidates that we're supporting: Chris Duenas, Roy Kinata, Tony Ada, Will Parkinson, Sabrina Mantanani, Jesse Lujan, Josan Augustin, Tina Muñoz Barnes, Vince Borja, Tom Fisher, Sean Gumatautau, and Dwayne St. Nicholas. And then we also
so 7. If my math is correct, that's 7 Republicans and 5 Democrats.
I believe that's it.
Yeah,
I didn't count, but that's probably correct.
Okay.
And congressional candidate.
Now, we've had test cases in front of the legislature. We had bills that we were supporting, and we actually submitted testimony. We appeared at the public hearings. We watched the floor debates, and surprisingly, I was surprised. Let's just give you an example. I'm not campaigning for him. I was surprised how Roy Kinata was knowledgeable, and he really supported the GAR issues. That's why he's up there.
Mm-hmm. He's a sharp guy.
Duenas as well. And for me, surprisingly, Will Parkinson. I didn't know him, but I'll tell you, he was supporting issues that supported GAR positions.
Mm-hmm. And of course, the incumbent Congressman Jim Moylan also gets your nod for our next congressional delegate.
That's correct.
Yeah, I just want to point out about Jim Moylan. We normally attend the National Association of Realtors in Washington, D.C., and we happened to be there when he was called into a meeting with all these military generals, admirals. And I'll tell you, he made Guam proud. Some people have said he's not as articulate as the other candidate, but I'll tell you, when we watched him in action, he was articulate. He represented Guam very well, and you could see the attention that he was given. And we were also in Washington, D.C. when he was listening. He was at the head of the Congress listening to bills.
He was actually acting speaker.
He was acting speaker. And again, they've appointed him many a time to stand before the session hall to hear bills.
Need a place that has everything you're looking for without the extra stops? Kmart is the ultimate destination for saving time and money with unbeatable deals, all in one place. From groceries to personal and home essentials to the latest trends, everything you need is right here. For yourself, your family, your home. Find it all at Kmart, your destination for deals, where convenience, variety, and value come together. Make Kmart your one-stop shop today. Follow us on our social media and check out our website for weekly deals. Kmart, your destination for deals.
In times of uncertainty, trust is what leads the way. The Medical City, your trusted partner in health.
Attention all construction pros, suppliers, and service providers. Ready to be part of a billion-dollar boom? This opportunity is too good to miss. Attend the Guam Industry Forum on November 14th and 15th at the Dusitani Guam Resort. You'll hear from military representatives, local government officials, and AEC experts sharing critical insights on national security, infrastructure resiliency, and defense deterrence. Explore massive investments in defense and federal projects. Register today at GuamIndustryForum.com and don't miss out on a chance to be a part of history, because if you're not present, well, you're absent. November is not just a time to prepare for the holiday season. It also marks Movember, a month that's dedicated to raising awareness about men's health issues, including cancer, chronic illnesses, and mental health and wellness.
Movember is more than just growing a mustache. It's a movement that encourages men to take charge of their health and to have important conversations about what's going on in their lives.
Did you know that 1 in 9 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime, and that men are significantly less likely to seek help for mental health issues than women? This month, we're encouraging all men to take a proactive approach to their health.
Simple steps like getting regular checkups and screenings, talking to your friends and family about your feelings and symptoms, and exercising regularly can make a big difference. Join us this Movember to raise awareness and support one another, and take action with our health and well-being.
And that doesn't happen just to anyone. And it just gives the appearance that they have confidence. He has the ability to gain attention during these hearings, and he conducts himself very well. So having observed and watched over the years, I mean, my vote was, hey, we've got to support him because we've watched him perform and actually get things done in DC.
Okay, I do have a question just out of curiosity, because you were saying this represents a ranking based on the criteria and the points you assigned and everything. Are you able to recall just off the top of your head who some of the candidates that didn't make this senatorial cut of the top 12? Like who were some of the ones on the fringe?
The fringe, or not at all? I mean, some of the way bottom.
Okay, or was it purely like a binary thing? Either you're in or you get the nod or thumbs up, thumbs up.
It's a ranking like 1 to 10.
Okay.
And then when you total up the scores, those that were above 50 are the people
I
you
see.
see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
John,
That
can I
didn't
just-
get. Go ahead,
John,
Gina.
can I ask the question? How many people are on your committee? How many participated?
I think there were 5 of us that actually were there to vote. There were some that, for whatever commitments they had, weren't able to be
I
at the
think it's
ranking
about
session.
10 on the committee, and maybe 8 or 9 showed up.
Well, yeah, I don't
Okay, well,
remember how many.
that's a good
But there
group
were a
of
sizable
people.
number. Most of the committee members were there to rank. Yeah, and everybody kind of gave their opinion or their point of view regarding every candidate. So, and we all listened, and then we put down our score, and then when you total it up, that's kind of what you get. I'll just give you an example. Tony Ada wasn't there for 37th Guam legislature, but he had always supported a lot of GAR issues, or GAR supported issues, and because of that, he got credit for that.
Mhm.
Maybe as an example of somebody who who didn't quite get the credit. Let's say Shelley Calvo. She answered the questionnaire. She couldn't appear, and I believe it was because Paul Calvo passed away and she was tied up.
Yeah.
But because, we can't really evaluate the reasons why candidates couldn't appear. I mean, we don't want to be a judge as to whether it was valid or not. We just across the board said, if you didn't appear, then you didn't get any credit. So, and that's, I think she was handicapped by that.
And again, this is from the Guam Association of Realtors based on the questionnaire that they gave with their concerns.
And everybody had their input. I think for myself, I can say that if I saw one candidate that went to the public hearings, were vocal about certain issues, that attended, a number of things and showed that they were concerned about the community even before running for senator, then I'll say, okay, I can cast my vote for that person. Or if they're involved with some community events and they're very visible that they want to make a difference for the community, at that point, I can say, okay, let's vote. I want to put my vote, whatever points that may be, for that individual. But if they haven't proven that they're concerned about our community or haven't lived here for that long, then I'm sorry, I can't vote for that person. Or if they're, like I said, if Gina and I go to the legislature a lot to listen, and so does John.
I don't think, maybe when you say I can't vote for that, maybe you didn't give them as high a score as you could have.
I could have given
Because
them one or two or
yep,
three. Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
And I just want to make a point about, we're saying concerns by the Guam Association of Realtors, and really every time I've participated, whether it's behalf of REMAX or just for myself as a concerned citizen, and I've gone down in support of the Guam Association of Realtor issues that they're down there trying to promote or trying to, push forward. These are community issues. They're not Guam Association of Realtor issues. They're not real estate professional issues. They're community issues. They're issues about, for instance, the infrastructure issues that we had, talking about the septic tank systems, and John was instrumental in getting that moved along. Issues with the ADU, the additional dwelling units. I mean, these are community issues. These types of issues are for the benefit of everybody in our community. And so the Guam Association we promote those type of issues because we deal with the community on a one-to-one, day-to-day basis when it comes to housing here and developments, generally speaking. And so these things do concern us as individuals, but particularly for John and Liz, it concerns them because they really work hard on the association level to move these things forward. And it isn't for personal gain. Liz brought that up. This is not for our personal gain. This is for our community, so that our families can stay on Guam and we can move forward. Housing, I think, is the number one key issue that has driven people off island.
I know that whole idea of, so and so got like priced out of paradise. That's a really, really scary. I mean, I like scary movies. That's truly frightening right there. Where if you want to live and, make Guam, your place to raise your family, go to school, open a business and everything like that, and you literally cannot afford to live here because the market is such that you literally are priced out of paradise. That's a very frightening thing.
It is. Definitely.
Okay, so obviously the Guam Association of Realtors, one of the many special interest groups, and in this case, a political action committee that has directly dialogued and interfaced with the candidates seeking your endorsement if you're out there watching this on whatever platform you're watching. These are their opinions, and these are the candidates that they have talked to, that they have held to a certain standard and that they have endorsed. So Liz, John, and Gina, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Everyone, go out there and vote. Vote, vote, vote.
That's right.
House to Home, presented by REMAX Diamond Realty.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist. Over 20 years of experience.
Want a real taste of New York? The classic New York style pizza offers a big, bold taste that's a Guam favorite. It's handmade with 16 inches of foldable crust, a sweet marinara sauce, and your favorite topping. And at 30% larger than our large, classic New York pizza is only $12.99 for carryout. Bring together your family and friends for a classic New York pizza party. Each pizza is just $12.99 for carryout. Classic New York style pizza, so close you can taste it. Only at your Island Pizza Hut.
Is brought to you by Calvo's Select Care.
Half a day, I'm Clara Calvo, bringing you your weekly renewal. Today I am here with my sister Rena Calvo. Aside from being my beautiful sister, among many other things, she is a licensed therapist and a life coach. And to be completely authentic and transparent with you, I wasn't sure if weekly renewal would happen this week, so soon after the passing of our father. However, with Rena being on Guam and being a therapist and a life coach, I thought it'd be great to have her on to talk about grief and loss and just in general. So thank you so much, Rena, for being here. I know this was last minute, but thank you for being here to talk about this important topic. So as a counselor, therapist, and life coach, what are some ways that you cope with loss, with grief?
I have gone through a lot of losses in my own personal life, and that has always been a catalyst for me to seek out different modalities, different tools on how to do that and to be able to bring that to clients. I find most effective to use a lot of the creative arts, be it narrative writing, using art, using sound. So again, which I've mentioned in a lot of my workshops, is emotion is just energy in motion, and it's knowing a constructive way of moving through those emotions so they don't get and we don't suppress them. I can read all the books and learn all the things. We can all learn things through books, but ultimately the answers reside within you. And it's everyone's curriculum is going to be different, unique, and for that to be honored and respected.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's why I thought this was perfect, because this is an experiential process right now. You know, like you said, it's one thing to talk about things, yes, to kind of conceptualize, but when you're actually in it and feeling it and going through the motions, you could speak from that standpoint of experiencing it. What are some daily things that might help going through it?
Well, in the connecting, which is so important, yeah. I also the stages of grief, we all go through them differently, and not everyone is into connecting. Some right. people are in isolation, yeah. and for them to honor they need that they need their own space. So there's denial, there's isolation, there's blame and anger, there's bargaining, and there's acceptance and healing. When we speak about connection with others, it's so important to find a support group with, even if it's just one friend or even an animal, something that we can connect with. But ultimately, it's our connection with Source, whatever God, whatever name that you identify with, the Holy Spirit, higher source, and really connecting into that higher consciousness, that higher self. I mean, that's
right. I often wonder how people sit with it if you don't believe in a higher source or a higher power or God. That I can imagine to, even more challenging to deal with the finality of what it would seem to be death.
Yeah, I can't speak for others who don't have that. I will say though, it's opened my perception, because ultimately I remember speaking to someone in the military, and I was very I found it really interesting that the way they approached life after seeing so much death in the battlefield, there was more zest for living. There was more, I'm going to make every moment count and not sweat the small stuff, because I've seen big stuff.
Right.
And so there's a greater appreciation for being in this body and being able to cherish every moment, because they had so much death
and they've
around
seen a
them.
lot, Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time for part 2 of this segment with Rena Calvo.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo's Select Care.
Attention all construction pros, suppliers, and service providers. Ready to be part of a billion-dollar boom? This opportunity is too good to miss. Attend the Guam Industry Forum on November 14th and 15th at the Dusitani Guam Resort. You'll hear from military representatives, local government officials, and AEC experts sharing critical insights on national security, infrastructure resiliency, and defense deterrence. Explore massive investments in defense and federal projects. Register today at GuamIndustryForum.com and don't miss out on a chance to be a part of history, because if you're not present, well, you're absent. November is not just a time to prepare for the holiday season. It also marks Movember, a month that's dedicated to raising awareness about men's health issues, including cancer, chronic illnesses, and mental health and wellness.
Movember is more than just growing a mustache. It's a movement that encourages men to take charge of their health and to have important conversations about what's going on in their lives.
Did you know that 1 in 9 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime, and that men are significantly less likely to seek help for mental health issues than women? This month, we're encouraging all men to take a proactive approach to their health.
Simple steps like getting regular checkups and screenings, talking to your friends and family about your feelings and symptoms, and exercising regularly can make a big difference. Join us this Movember to raise awareness and support one another, and take action with our health and well-being.
Health Check is brought to you locally by Island Cancer Center.
Men are dying too young. We can't afford to stay silent. That's the mission of the organization known as Movember, the group taking on mental health and suicide prevention, prostate cancer, and testicular cancer. It started with two mates, Travis Garone and Luke Slatery, meeting up for a quiet beer in Melbourne, Australia, and the idea that sparked Movember is born. The mustache had all but disappeared from fashion trends, begging the question, could they bring it back? So they found 30 guys willing to take up the challenge. The Movember movement has grown to be a truly global one. Since 2003, Movember has funded more than 1,250 men's health projects around the world, challenging the status quo, shaking up men's health research, and transforming the way health services reach and support men. Men's health is highlighted each time this year in the month of November. The men of KUAM also growing out their mustaches in support of the cause. Among the areas to know is getting regular screenings and checkups for prostate cancer. Prostate cancer is when cells in the prostate multiply too quickly and grow out of control. This creates a cancerous tumor. It is the most commonly diagnosed cancer in men in the United States. Globally, more than 1.4 million men are diagnosed with prostate cancer each year. Across the country, there are almost 3.25 million men living with and beyond the disease. Often this type of cancer grows slowly and doesn't cause big problems right away. Sometimes, however, prostate cancer can be fast-growing and spread to other parts of the body, causing major damage. Catching cancer early so that your doctor can keep an eye on it and recommend next steps is ideal. If the cancer is caught later, you may still have options to work through with your healthcare provider. Anyone with a prostate can get prostate cancer, and it's important to have regular checkups with your doctor to monitor your prostate health and prostate cancer risk factors related to your personal circumstances. Your risk of developing prostate cancer increases with age, but that doesn't mean it's a disease that only affects older people. Prostate cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer in men and is particularly common over the age of 50 years. Join us in prioritizing men's health this Movember and visit Movember.com for more information.
Health Check is brought to you locally by Island Cancer Center.
That's going to do it for Health, Home, and Lifestyle this week, everybody. Please be safe and live healthy.